So the first thing, before we even dive into what the Kilesas are, the different forms, is I have to convey the right attitude necessary to gain any traction with this. And there is an appropriate attitude to have, and there is an inappropriate attitude. And the inappropriate attitude won't lead you to freedom from the Kilesas. It'll lead to further suffering. And the appropriate attitude obviously would begin the process of reduction of suffering for you. So what is this right attitude? First and foremost, it must be a possibility for you that this is real, that this can happen, that these things that harass you in the mind can be dealt with, not just temporarily, but permanently. And permanently means you understand them. You understand them enough not to fall for the traps that they present. So when you look at individuals like the Buddha or your own personal teacher or anyone with an open mind that they were like you, and it's because of that you can actually reach the point where they arrived at. But you have to see that this is available to you. You have to see it's available to you. That the potential is there. The attitude is, there are many people who have reached the ending of the Kilesas, have reached awakening, who thought that the problems that they had were unsurmountable, but they reached it. So whatever problems you think aren't surmountable, despite that, continue, because others have gotten through their obstacles, and so can you. There's no excuse. So this is on your shoulders. Now, the next aspect of right attitude is to have the attitude of doing until what's done is done. What that means essentially is continuing to search, to look, to apply fabrication to whatever until the Kilesas are no longer an issue. And making it I don't want to say the word duty, but there has to be a commitment to the ending of these things. You could call it a duty, even if you want. Well, regardless, what matters is you don't question whether there is an end. You just act in the direction of reduction. And oftentimes this requires you to invent your own strategies for dealing with specific conditions inside of yourself. There won't always be a teaching that adequately forms perfectly to the situation you're dealing with in your own mind. And this degree of ingenuity has to be paired with this, I'm going to see this through, and you don't want to have this deep reliance on anyone except yourself. So these are the components of right attitude, of the right attitude to have to have some traction here. You want to know that this is something that's possible for you. You really want to accept that it's on your shoulders whether this occurs or not, and it is possible for you to abandon things like stress and sorrow and suffering, things that cause these things. You can abandon them completely. Entertain that as something that you can do. There's nothing stopping you except your own ignorance. You don't have to do anything other than correct this ignorance inside, and you will find that this is a possibility for you as well as anyone else. But you need to know it is a possibility for you. Otherwise, you may not take this seriously enough or sincerely enough for you to begin to see results. And then secondly, you must be self-reliant, ingenious, seeing the end of whatever Kilesa you're dealing with, committing to its ending. And you have to continue to do what you need to do in order for that to happen. Whatever that is, I'm not even going into that. All I'm saying is the right attitude is to have, this is what needs to go, and until it's gone, I will continue joyfully enduring whatever action needs to be endured, or whatever I'm learning or contemplating at that point in time. So, with that, there's now a foundation where if you approach it with this, there's potential there that this will allow you to start to remove a lot of the irritants, a lot of the Kilesas.